I think that even if the Constitutional Court grants a 6 months extension, the bill that they want to propose and work in the 6 months extension will not serve the people. It's a bill that is designed to serve the parties. If you like, it's an ANC favoring bill, because at the end of the day, it's going to ensure that parties keep dominance. It will make sure independents they need higher votes than parties to even qualify for one seat. And more seriously, it doesn't give power back to the people. What we wanted for in the anniversary of the judgment today was to say, actually, we want constituencies. We want people to be able to directly vote for people. That's what we wanted. And I fear that the bill that they are proposing, even with a 6 months extension, they could be given a year. They are still committed to serving parties rather than the people. The last thing I'll say is this, is that it puts at risk the elections in 2024. And that's why I'm going out to communities to make sure that we can get the best candidates, that they can stand collectively so that we can bring about the change we need.
What were the reasons that you were brought forward in terms of this extension? We also heard you speaking about, talking about parliamentarians there, saying that, they take time to work on issues before them.
Well, if you look at the last 2 years, it was an opportunity for government to actually do its job, for parliament to do its job, but they went on holiday. They did their own lockdown, where instead other parliaments all over the world worked on the laws. The first time they started working on this electoral amendment bill was January this year, with 6 months to go before the deadline. So they rushed the public consultation processes. They didn't do their job properly. What I'm here to say is that if we want an active parliament, imagine if you had someone who comes from your community and Charlotte Maxeke had banned. They would be fighting in parliament, whether COVID or no COVID, they would be fighting. The issues must be about the people. And so therefore, I think if we're not going to win at parliament, if we just keep the parties dominant, because they vote for whatever they want, and they swear allegiance to the constitution, instead they mean to the party. We've got to change that, bring ordinary South Africans to be represented in parliament, so that their allegiance is to the people before it is to the party.
You already mentioned, my last question, you already mentioned that this is unfavorable, it's going to be unfavorable. Where to from here?
From here, I'm calling upon civic society, I'm calling upon leaders and communities. I'm saying, let's stand together. This is our country. And let's identify leaders and communities. Let's work together across, and I'm calling political parties, civic society, all communities to say, let's stand together, build a movement in the middle so that we can bring about the change. Because if we don't, our country will face even a more difficult situation, captured by the parties. So if we want to avoid another form of state capture, let's make sure actually the people get the power back.